Hi guys, how's it going? It is me, Jack here, and welcome to episode number 12 of the Football Manager 2023 save here with Birmingham City. Now, in the last episode, we got a 1-0 victory against Aston Villa. Goal from Anel Ahmedhodzic at the back, and since then, it hasn't been very good. I mentioned in the last episode that this was going to be December where hopefully we can pick up some wins, some more points, and we can try and get ourselves up the table. I specifically mentioned that game against Watford, who were bottom of the league and stuck on 3 points. We've given them their 4th point with a 0-0 draw, but we'll go into that in a second. So after the victory against Villa, we played Newcastle away, and I knew this would be a tough game, and I didn't think we'd get much out of this. But I wasn't expecting us to be battered by 6-0. And if you look at the stats, everything they touch really turned to gold and turned into goals. And the stats don't show a 6-0 thumping because we had some chances. Just not a single player played well. I don't understand how Ruddy continues to get 7 ratings, yet he's conceded 6 goals. Something has gone wrong here in the system. Todibo, Isaac, hat-trick and Wilson scoring 2 goals meant that they beat us convincingly. So we tried to put that to the back of our mind, and when you've been thumped 6-0, our first thumping of the season, it's very difficult to try and bounce back from that, especially when the next game is Manchester City. I don't really have to say much here. We got it to 2-1, but it's just the firepower of Manchester City. Their team is without doubt one of the best in the league. Haaland, Grealish and Rodrigo is a front 3. De Bruyne, Silva and Rodri is in midfield. The defence is phenomenal, and it's half the reason why they are fighting with another top team, Liverpool, in the Premier League this year. Haaland top scorer naturally because he's the best player in the game. Watford 0-0. I mean, this was the game where I thought if we can try and come back from this, we can. And the stats showed that we had no possession of the football, and the press continued to bat that at me as, you know, you had no control of the game because of that. And the only stat I said that mattered is goals, and we are lacking that at the minute. Almada and Bellingham did quite well, but it's just the front men. I mean, this guy, I signed him because he's a natural wonder kid in Football Manager. It's the first time I've had him. Yeah, he's done absolutely nothing with the football yet. I mean, an average rating of 6.5. This is the first game where I'm just dropping him altogether because he's been absolutely dire and just can't continue to play really at the minute because he's offering nothing. Joe Gelhardt's another player. He's had a few games where he scored. He scored against Brentford, scored against City, but I want him to score a few goals in a game and we win because we haven't had one in such a long time. After the Watford game, 2 games follow where I thought we can get something out of this. You know, we can take the draw, we can try and maybe just start an unbeaten run, but it never happened. We lost by 3-1 against Brentford, and it was another one of them games where they seemed to score really, really early on before the second half starts, and then we got back into it. Gelhardt got a goal. Sorry, I thought we got back into it 2-0. We got back into it at 3-0 when it was all said and done. And then Palace at home was just a woeful game. Another game where we conceded right before the brink of half time, and they scored 2 goals quickly after when the second half kicked off. And we just couldn't do anything. No one played well that game. And it's led me to, well, as you can see by the title, hence a new formation. We've had to change it up tactically going into this game against Norwich because the next 2 games, Norwich and Leicester, which you're going to see both in today's episode, the first double header of this season, we're going to play Norwich and we're going to play Leicester because these are 2 games that could really define our season. If we lose both of these, I mean, it's still very early in terms of we're halfway through the season, still a lot of games to play and we could go on a run. But if you lose both of these, this will be the first time where a gap will start to be created and we'll start to just very slightly lose track of the sides around us. We sit 19th at the minute because of our really, really long run without a victory. The goals against have just perplexed. So high up the goals against list now, 32 goals conceded, and the goals are lacking with the 4th lowest scorers in the league. And to top it all off, I asked the board for some money in this window to increase the wage budget, and they just haven't haven't given us anything to work with, which is so bitterly disappointing considering this new ownership have came in and they've put no money into the club at the minute, and we are really, really low down in the Premier League table. So there's no one really I want to sell. I'm going to loan out Jordan Hugo, but the rest of the team I can't afford to sell. There's no asset there to try and fork out. The only thing I'm praying for is Jude Bellingham moves on in this window and he's not wanted by anyone. So I can't see him wanting to leave at this moment in time. Reason being, of course, is we get that 25% profit. But yeah, it's going to be a very slow window. We might be able to bring in a player, but if I do, you'll find out in the next episode. This is the new tactic. Before I show you the new tactic, look at dynamics. Club atmosphere is abysmal. We have tried to have a meeting to sort it out. That was before the Palace game, I believe. But the team cohesion and the managerial support is still good. It's just this team, as soon as we lose a few games, the morale just drops massively. And I'm hoping that one victory will just change it around, and hopefully we get at least one of these on camera today, because every time I record for you guys, we seem to do all right. We got a 0-0 draw away against West Ham. We beat Leicester. We beat, who else did we beat on camera? I can't remember who. Villa on camera, of course. So hopefully in today's episode we can get 2 victories and we can start moving up the table. We've got a third round FA Cup tie against York, which I was going to show you in today's episode, but I thought, do you know what? We've just got to focus on the Premier League and we've got to get these 2 massive games over and done with and try our hardest to get 6 points. This is the tactic we went through, and it's a 4-2-3-1 that we're going to use. As I said, Shelderup, he's just totally dropped from this lineup because he just does not deserve to be in the team. We're going to have Ruddy in goal. Byram's going to stay in at right back because Colin unfortunately picked up an injury and is out for 2 weeks. Anel, Cabal and Langello will be the back line. The reason Langello has came in is because the Brentford game he got an assist, but I must have totally just forgot about it and not used him against Palace because I decided to stay with Fabra. And Fabra has actually been quite good. He's been one of the better signings this year. He just had an abysmal game against Palace, so I'm going to put Langello back in there. The midfield has changed slightly. We don't use a 3 anymore. We've gone with Almada as a cam, and we've used Bellingham and Onyeka as a box-to-box and a ball winner. Onyeka stays as a ball winner, but Bellingham's going to play as a box-to-box today to see what he can do, because I think I used him slightly there at the start of last season and he did okay. If it doesn't work, then we've got Bakuna on the bench ready to come on. Romero's going to play on the right as an inside forward on attack. Chong as the winger on the left that he did brilliantly last year. Almada at cam. And, I mean, it has to be Gelhardt up front, but we need a bit more consistency from this lad because it just hasn't gone right for him just yet. So he'll go up front. Shelder will be there, of course, as backup. Same with Hogan. And we'll have Etheridge, Fabra, Howard Bellis, Robert Sunyick, Bakuna, James, Shelderup and Hogan on the bench. I've just seen their squad unhappy with club situation. Several players are unhappy about the poor dressing room. Right, okay. Let's talk to them about this. You need to do something about the dressing room. It's a real chore to come into work at the minute. That's not very good. Let me just read these two quickly. I'll complain about it isn't going to do anything. I'm surprised to hear that. It seems fine to me. I'm working hard as possible to, thank you everyone. They're just, that might help us a little bit going into this game. Does that change the dynamics? No, it's still absolutely to the floor. So hopefully we can get something out of this game today. Just one victory, and I know it's just going to change around the morale of this team. We're still going to play very similar. We're playing more counter-attacking as a style, though. We're going to try and get the ball from deep and then just try and blitz them on the counter-attack. As well as that, as I say, we're sitting lower and we're going to try and use the pace of Luca and the pace of Chong in the wide flanks to get us the ball back. We might have to change it up in midfield a little bit if it doesn't work. But fingers crossed, at home against Norwich, Sam Byram's former team, we can get ourselves 3 points. Let's say to them, let's use this home advantage. I don't want to play on the fact we're doing badly. Let's just use that. Let's just go into this game as favourites and show the world why we are in the Premier League. So let's see. I just hate reading that recent form. It just looks vile. But there it is, 4-2-3-1. We've never used a different formation yet in this save. They're using the formation that we used. We have used and had a lot of success with in the past. But as you can see, this is the definition of a relegation 6-pointer today. We've nearly played halfway through the season and we are in 19th in the table. It was expected, but I just really want to stay in the Premier League this year. Come on, the Blues. 22 minutes played. Norwich City are going to restart from a goal kick. He is Baumgartlinger, back to Gunn. Gunn hoofs the ball forward. We can't get there. Great little flick there by Morris as he tries to fire it towards goal, and it's closer to the corner flag than it is John Ruddy's goal. John Ruddy as well, actually, I forgot to mention, is a former player, as well as Sam Byram. As Nunez puts the ball in, our defenders clear it away, and Todd Cantwell receives the ball. Now, we had something like this in the last episode with Fabra, I think, who got sent off. It might not have been the last episode now, I can't remember. Surely that was outside the box. Cantwell, brought down by Chong. Please tell me that's not inside the area. It looks to be just outside of it in my eyes. Come on. No penalty. Thank you. I did see that, and I was more confident in than the previous one that wasn't a penalty, and that definitely wasn't. So we've been given a huge sigh of relief there, but they have got a free kick. Nunez will take it. He looks like he's going to whip it into the box rather than have a strike at that near post. Very deep ball into Timu Pukki, and Luca Romero gets it back. I thought the highlight was going to continue and we counter-attack. We have a set piece though. Thiago Almada is going to whip the ball in. He puts it in to Luca, who can't get there, but Onyeka is going to get it back. He can play another ball through to Almada. Have a shot, Almada. He shoots and he scores. It's his 4th goal of the season, and it's just YouTube. It's only YouTube where we seem to be winning games, and we're winning right now, 1-0. Oh, it's a huge relief. Look at it. Puts us up to 17th, but we've got to continue this momentum. Great little ball there through to Almada. We're 1-0 up. Can we hold on? We're back into the relegation zone, as it seems, because I forgot to mention it, actually. A lot of these teams have started sacking their managers that aren't supposed to be in the relegation zone. Moyes has been sacked, and Brendan Rodgers has just come in. And as a result of that, Leicester City sacked Rodgers, and they replaced him with former Leicester player, I believe. Is he former Leicester player? Yep, Neil Lennon. So a bit of chopping and changing around the bottom of the division here. But it's half time. We're a goal up. What do you say to the players now? We can't say we don't want to see complacency. I just think we've got to keep momentum high. Keep working hard. We're doing well. We've got to continue this momentum into the second half. Ruddy claims the ball. Just seeing who's not doing well. Gelhardt again. Chong not doing very well. Byram as well. Onyeka plays a devastating through ball to Gelhardt. Please finish that, Joe. He's been brought down. Now that's got to be a penalty. That is so far inside the penalty area. John Brooks has pointed to the spot. We've got to do a VAR check. Something that we get a lot of. We don't get any of it in the Championship, of course. And what is it? It's a penalty. Now, who is the game going to give it to? It gives it to Almada. I've been tempted to give it to Gelhardt because I know he's got good penalties, but Almada's got better. Can he make it 2-0 and give us a bit? Yes, he can. He gives us that little bit of breathing space. It's a goal from the Argentine, and he's playing very well at that central attack midfield position, which I thought might be to his strength, because I brought him in to maybe play as a winger, but we've had to change it up, and the new formation is paying dividends here. That's a big game there, actually. West Ham 2, Leicester 2, so it's 16th, 17th, 18th and 19th all playing each other today, which is big to see. Good ball out wide from Byram to Luca Romero, who put it into Gelhardt. This is more like it, Birmingham City. This is much, much better. Gelhardt gets himself on the score sheet. It's actual attacking players linking up, which I haven't seen in such a long time. I like that ball there from Sam Byram, and the creativity of Luca Romero, our lone player, who I am looking at potentially maybe signing, and it helps that he's creating assists for our main striker Gelhardt there. We're 3-0 up. This is looking a lot better. Now I'll tell you what to do. 65 minutes played now. We'll take off Chong and we'll play Shelder up on the left hand side. He likes to play as an inverted winger on support. Job is not doing too badly as a box-to-box midfielder, so we'll keep him on just a little while longer. Longello doing well as well. It's been a good performance, this, from the Birmingham City boys. As Shelby picks up in midfield, but we'll get it back with an L. Finds Cabal on Yeka to Bellingham. Cabal puts it straight through to Longello. What can he do with it? He whips it in this time. McCallum gets it clear. Gray keeps hold. We don't want to concede now because it just swings that momentum over to them. Definitely don't get anyone sent off. Gray claws down. Ruddy catches it. And I tell you what we'll do is we'll just make a few more changes now. We'll bring on Baku. Actually, no, just what? We'll bring on James as a box-to-box. I am going to take off Sam Byron because I'm just a bit wary of that red card. Actually, he's on a ban, to be fair. He's going to get banned. So, yeah, we'll play Bellis because I'm going to have to play Bellis at right back against Leicester now, which I know he's not a right back. I know he's a centre back, but it's just we're going to have to do it now because Byram's unfortunately picked up that yellow card. Is Bellingham on a suspension as well? No, he's not. And I think we keep everyone else the same. We've got to keep these players in the window of performing well and being in a side that is winning a game of football, which it hasn't been since the start of December. A highlight looks like it's taking place here, and Gelhardt intercepts. Gelhardt's through. Oh, saved by Gunn. I said it earlier that we need to have that opportunity, and I want Gelhardt to be involved in the game where he scored a few goals. I thought it was going to happen there, but it hasn't done so. We'll bring on Fabra as our last substitution, just to give Longello a rest. He's done brilliantly in this game, but it looks to be, I was going to say, a clean sheet and a first victory in 5, but it hasn't finished yet. He's shelled up. Can he work a bit of magic? His stats show us that he should be, and he hasn't done it there. Angus Gunn with a big save, but it is 3 huge points in the race to survive. I'm going to say to everyone, that was an excellent performance. Excellent 3 points. And that, we can breathe a sigh of relief with that one. That was a really, really good performance. And I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll stop the recording here and we'll go straight in to the match against Leicester City, where if we win, we can just pull a little bit further ahead. Here we are then for the second game of today's episode away from home against Leicester City. Before we head into that game, what I want to do is quickly show you the season, the away record for this season. And yeah, that is half the reason why we are where we are, because we have in 9 games drawn 3 and lost 6 all season. I mean, the home record it makes for a lot better reading. We've only conceded 13. We've scored 13 at home. 4 wins, 2 draws. So, 10 games at home. We've got something out of 6 of them, which is not too bad. But the away record has been woeful. So, could we get our first victory away from home in today's episode? We'll have to wait and find out. It's the same team. I think that's only natural that we pick the same team. The only difference, of course, is Howard Bellis, as we mentioned, will go in at right back, and Maxime Collin. Barham suspended, and Maxime Collin looks to be injured. I think I didn't check the fitness test, but I assume he failed it. Yeah, he's not ready to be selected, so we won't put him through that little pain barrier. Longello lacking in match sharpness, but he should be okay. I think he lasted about 75-80 minutes in the last game, so hopefully he can give us the same performance today. And I'll tell you what, let's just say if we carry our performance from the last game into this game, then we should do amazingly well. We'll go into the tunnel and take a look at this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to bother answering them types of questions. So there's their team, Leicester City. We have played already. Evans at the back with Amate, lacking in a bit of pace there. We've got a lot of pace up front with Gelhardt, Romero, Almada, Chong. That's that front four. It's quite an exciting front four, that in a few years' time, once that that attack starts to develop, it will be quite an exciting attack. But we'll have to see what we can do in this game. Come on, Birmingham City. Pause it 10 minutes in straight away as Onyeka has unfortunately picked up a gashed lower leg. I don't want to keep him on just in case he aggravates that injury. So what we'll do is we'll bring on Sunyik as part of the midfield with Job Bellingham, and hopefully he can continue the good work that Onyeka has put in, because at the start of the season Onyeka was a little bit hit and miss, but he's really started to develop quite nicely, which I thought he would. The ball's whipped in by Leicester City. Tielemans retrieves it. Romero tries to intercept, but he can't. And now they're going to try and look for an overlap on the left-hand side. Luke Thomas, he is going to start doing that on the left-hand side. Whips it in. Is he? No, he's not. He's going to just run around with it. Hamza puts the ball into Iheanacho. Good defending by Cabal, but it's headed back in very lightly and very safe into the hands of John Ruddy. As highlights not over, we're going to try and start an attack. He hoofs the ball rather than try to pass it out like we're supposed to be doing. And as a result of that, Leicester City can now break. Castagne is still running here. What's he going to do? Whips it in. Howard Bellis, I thought, was going to give away a penalty. Barnes, Thomas, it's still falling around. And of course, it's a player getting their first goal of the season in the form of Hamza Chowdhury. I mean, it's literally the ball is just ricocheted around so many different people there. I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty, because Ramos tripped because of Howard Bellis. It deflects off two people. Hamza has a nice open near post goal to aim at, and Leicester City lead and place us back into the relegation zone. Chong to Longelo. He's Sunyik. Bellingham. What can Bellingham do with the football? He places a good ball out wide to Romero, who beats the defender with pace, finds it back to Job Bellingham, and the ball just goes over the bar. That's better. It's not on target, but it is better from the Blues. And now to Longelo. Longelo doing all right in this game. Chong, one through ball, straight to Gelhardt. It's a finish, but I think they're going to go to VAR. Are they saying that Gelhardt was potentially in an offside position? Let's have a look. No, he wasn't. The goal's been awarded. We've equalised against Leicester. A very simple ball. That Chong just playing a devastating through ball up to our striker. And Gelhardt, I dare say, back into the goals maybe. It's one apiece at the King Power Stadium. We've had a bit more possession. We've had more shots than our opposition as we head into the break. Now it's a bit different this game. We can't say that we're happy. We want to just keep going. I tell you what, let's just say the pundits might not believe in us, but we can make a difference in this second half. Let's just tell everyone to improve as we jump straight into the second half. Maddison with a free kick. Puts it in, Sunyik clears it, and Gelhardt picks it up. He's got one man on the left-hand side who was making a run but stopped. And Gelhardt's been brought down, smashed down by James Maddison. That's got to be a red card. There's no way he can stay on the football pitch any longer. No, he cannot. He was towards the last man. It's a two-footed challenge. And now we have a big opportunity here to potentially get our first win of the season away from home. Iheanacho, has a good effort, but it just goes wide of the goal, John Ruddy's goal. I've just gone and pushed the boys up a little bit forward, but I don't know how else to try and change this game around, as we're going to restart play with Bellingham to Cabal. Cabal puts it back to the left-hand side to Longelo. We're going to have a repeat of the goal that's just our first goal. No, Chong's not going to play a through ball to Gelhardt this time. It goes to Almada, who can set up Longelo on the left-hand side, plays it to Gelhardt, and it's a big save by Fabianski. I think Gelhardt should just be trying to smash that into the goal rather than looking for placement. But good signs this. Sunyik can't get there for the header. This time Bellis will get it. Can't get it to Almada. We have to just play on 65 minutes going on here. Sunyik's had a dreadful performance as a ball winner. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring on Bakuna at right back, only because I think he just brings us a little bit more in terms of a right back. Might be a bit of a weird decision, but I'm just going to do that. And I'm really tempted to bring on like someone else for Sunyik, because he's just not had an impact in this game whatsoever. But we'll keep going for now. And I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to take off... you can't take off your best players in Armada, can you? Or do we just do it? Do we try something different? Do we put... I think we've got to find a way to get Shelder up just onto the pitch to try and impact this game for us. If we play Chong at cam to try and, find a few passing moves. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am controversially going to take off Sunjic and I'm going to bring on Fabra at right back because he scored before from that position. And I'm going to do that. Sunjic just hasn't done well, and I'm sorry, it might seem a bit harsh of me, but if he's not making an impact, then he's going to have to come off. Now, I've just realised they're playing with 4, 6, 8, 9 men on the pitch because I think they must have made changes and Castañez came off and hasn't been replaced. Right, we've got to go for this now. Get stuck in. Distribute that ball quickly. We have to try and go for 3 points here because if we don't, we've only got ourselves to blame. We're having the chances. We've got to just throw men at this. Play really wide because they're playing so narrow and it can do all right for us, hopefully. Cabal to Longello. We've got maybe another highlights here. Longello. Pass it back to Cabal. Just take your time, mate. He's got to play through ball to Longello. He can't get there. And Didi, what's he going to do with the ball? Amate. I hope because I haven't gone. I'm hoping because I've gone so attacking that it's not going to leave us wide open at the back. Daka to Amate and Didi back to Amate. They're just playing 1-2s for fun. Evans straight through ball to Jamie Vardy, and he's still got pace to break through. Shoots, goes over the bar. Thankfully, we've not got long to go. I can't make any changes. I don't want to make any more changes now to the tactics. Is it going to be a draw? It's still not our first victory of the season, but it is a very big scoreline. It's unbeaten, which we haven't been. Let's just say trust the numbers to the players. That's disappointing. It means we haven't gone back into the relegation zone. We've maintained 17th, but when you're down to 9 men on the pitch, and they were down to 10 men from the 55th minute, that's a bit disappointing that we've just been unable to get 3 points there. We would have got an extra 2 points. We would have had a 5-point gap to Leicester City, which would have been huge. But we're still there. We are still definitely in this fight, and I'm hoping that we can try and maintain some decent results. We've still got a long way to go. We've got a horrendous run after the York City game with Chelsea, Liverpool and Man United, 3 of the top 6. And I'm thinking we just come back for around the end of February, March time. And hopefully we can do something there. But if you've enjoyed this episode, guys, please do hit the like button, comment and subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed already. And I'll see you for the next episode of this save very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.